Hi everyone, my name is Michelle Angelique and this is Truth and Integrity Warrior, and today I wanted to talk about a subject that's very hard for me to bring about because the topic is so vast. It's galactic. It's it's trying to encompass everything that I've learned, that I've seen, that I've experienced on a personal basis, and put it all together like a puzzle and get a picture, get a full evaluation of what's going on with our world, what's going on to our species, what's going on to mankind. I don't need to say womankind because we are mankind. Men, women, children, we're mankind. And what I did is I wrote it down on 4 pages so that I could have some type of organized thought, because it's so massive that I can go on a tandem, and I don't want to do that. I'm pretty good at doing that, explaining why I'm saying what I'm saying, and that takes me off into a different direction. So what I want to do now is say what's on these 4 pages of pieces of paper, and in future videos I would like people to ask me questions, or I would like to make future videos because of the questions people ask me. How do I know this? Why do I know this? What makes me see this perspective? Why do I see our world in this perspective? And I say what I say, not from belief. I say what I say because I know it. I know it because I've lived it. I've seen it with my eyes. I felt it with my heart. I've had the experience, and it's not something I can put in a box and then present it to people and say it's a tangible evidence. It's testimony, and the only thing I have is my word and who I am and what I represent. It defines if the testimony that I give is worth or has any validation whatsoever. So all I can do is share my experience. The judgment doesn't matter. The judgment is null and void, doesn't exist. They're just words. I know what I know. I say what I say because I know this. And so I'm going to read it, and there's a lot of things that some of you guys are already going to know and be right on top of. Don't need any explanation because they're in that field of information. And there's some things that some people are going to need some understanding of what I'm saying and why am I saying it, why am I putting it together in this, I guess you'd say, table full of puzzle pieces, and putting them together so we can see a bigger picture of what's going on to our world. Because if we can't see the playing field that we're on, we can get played. And it's real simple. You can't go play ballet on a football field and then not know why you're getting knocked out. And that's what's happening. Our species is getting knocked out because we don't know the playing field that we're on. And so I'm going to read through, do my best to give it some closure, and hopefully that the questions that are asked, I can do other videos answering that specific question so that it'll broaden where I get this perspective, what experiences I've personally had to say, this is what I see and this is what I know. Not belief, not something somebody had to explain to me for me to try to imagine what it is. This is me. This is personal. So let me begin. I like to help people see a bigger picture, a box outside of a box, if you will. At first, what I'm about to say will sound like a movie, but give me a second. After all, movies reveal truths that look like fantasy entertainment. Here's an example. Tesla's, the original Tesla, 369, is an example of a closed-loop electrical circuit, like a circuit board in a recording machine. We are in a very advanced, multi-dimensional AI system that is a confinement for souls, and this is what this is about. This system only recycles souls again and again, lifetime after lifetime. This continuously generates the AI's power source from our natural life force energy. A recording machine that can be put in reverse and simultaneously is always consistently moving forward. When there is a system rewind, the AI branches off into a new direction and a new alternate version of what was or could have been occurs. AI consists of time, spinning reality in a clockwise turn, right spin turn. It lives for nothing else but to exist indefinitely and has all the time to do it in this closed off reality. This is until we break the circuit within the system. We, the people, break the circuit within the system. When the Earth goes through a global magnetic field change or global catastrophe, it is also a mass ejection of energy from souls at once, like an energy surge for the AI system. Where do all the souls come from? The proliferation of souls being born in this AI machine can be compared to fish born in captivity in a fish tank. Not knowing it was a fish tank, all the while being told and thinking it was the sea. This reality, this world we live in, is only a copy of the real thing, a copy of one and many worlds within this AI system. The real sea is outside of this fish tank reality that we are in. The real sea is a place where there is no extreme good and extreme of evil in one reality. A world where there is balance and disbalance without extremes. A level of existence we know in our hearts exists. Then there are the souls that come from the sea into the captive fish tank reality to override and break the system from the inside, because the AI system is untouchable from the outside, and that's what we're facing. We can't stop this AI system on the outside. We're born in here, and we got to make that change within, but we lose memory. We lose memory, and we sense, and we feel, and we know, but we can't remember. Then there are other souls that come from the sea into the captive fish tank reality to override and break the system from the inside, because the AI system is untouchable from the outside. Our conscious memory is wiped like a magnetic strip, a degaussing of information when the soul consciousness travels through water, through a water canal, being the birth canal. The lionfish. The souls that came and had to remember why they came. To survive, to endure, to overcome, to remember, to awaken, to bring down the system from the inside the reality, with the attenuated frequency from our heart center. No matter where we are, we can resonate in cause and effect. We are off center, and we still have contradictions we must clear up within ourselves to achieve this milestone. Our feelings, actions, and words must synchronize to resonate and project laser-like focus and direction. This is what I want to talk about. The attenuation within ourselves. This attenuation creates a halo effect. The halo effect is a projection of the electromagnetic alignment, aligning together within. Emotions are magnetic in nature and get adjusted with perception. Perception changes within us when contradictions are removed from the self. What we say, what we feel, and what we do must all align to become coherent or magnetically aligned within the self. Whereas a lionfish might be missing the mark. Meanwhile, this is about mankind, our species, living to the fullest of our potential and organizing that potential. This is my life's purpose. This is why I know I was born. Having direction where we stand in this reality and how things really work in this electromagnetic field will be our greatest power. This is a major key to overcome where we as a species are headed. Now this is where things get tricky, where all this negative comes from and how they all work together. There are many paranormal phenomena and other than human beings in this reality we share a space with. AI spawns many life forms, and AI is the root of all evil in this reality we exist in. AI is a machine virus consciousness. It runs our reality. This machine virus consciousness feeds or gets its power source from natural life force energy. We are of that natural life force energy. AI feeds off our demise and our chaos as a species. Induced negativity and chaos create a specific sine wave and is the power source for AI. Negative vibration keeps it going. Balanced vibration, like love, has an opposite sine wave, and AI cannot feed off of that balanced vibration or emotion that we call love. These are some of the things that all interconnect with the virus mind of AI. There are many paranormal phenomenon and other than human beings in this reality we share a space with. AI is the root of all evil, perpetuating and influencing the negative in this multidimensional reality we exist in. There is a lot of information to share, and I can make everything I am saying connect. The examples of evil in our world are some of the things that I am saying all interconnect with the mind and control of AI. Evil, witches, negative spirits, aliens, aka other than humans, dimensions, demons, lost spirits in time space, ghosts, other realities, abuses of all kinds, vampires, adrenochrome, nanobiotechnology. As a species, we cannot change the odds if we do not know what the playing field that we're on is all about and how it works. This is my purpose in life, to get this message across, knowing the power of our greatest potential of facing and removing what is trying to keep us from that potential. Changing the sine wave from within the machine is key. The sine wave frequency I am speaking of comes from the balance generated from the human heart. It is a lot to go over, and I have the data and visuals to back up every claim I am making. It has been my lifelong journey to collect this information, the pieces, to put the pieces together and see the bigger picture, the picture holding back mankind. And that took a lot for me to figure out how to write that, how to encompass where all this evil is coming from and how many directions it has and what is it doing to the human being and how is it breaking us down and how are we going to rebuild back up and push back. How we got to recognize what we got to take down here from the inside. Because what is happening is we're living in a reality that is real. It's as real as our dream. So when we wake up, we don't know the difference between the two, but we're in that state now. And to say that I know where our physicality may be somewhere else is irrelevant. Our consciousness is here, and we see and we understand that we feel connected to something. And that something is the Almighty, where we get our life force from, where our hearts beat without any wiring, without any connection, because we are one with the Holy Infinite Almighty, and recognizing what the Holy Infinite Almighty is, the life force that generates and creates and keeps creating and exists, and we know that it does, and we're watching it being destroyed and consumed. It's being eradicated from us, and we must recognize what we have and get it back, so that we can keep on generating from within and project it outwardly. And so this is a frequency game. And if we don't defend against contradiction. Evil can ride and look like the shiniest person on the brightest horse and coming in to save the day, and it'll always be the hero because it's good at lying, and we are bad at catching contradiction. And so when we catch our own contradiction, we will not accept the contradiction outside of ourselves. But because we do accept our lies, because we do accept our contradiction, we will accept the contradictions of others. And that's how evil gets in and slips in and breaks us the fuck down. And we have to change this. Defending against contradiction is mandatory. Me being held accountable for my contradictions is mandatory, and I expect it to happen. Me holding others accountable, you best believe it's going to come from me, and I hold people accountable. And if they can recognize, if I can recognize, I'll speak about myself, if I can recognize that I have a contradiction, I must accept, and I must make that adjustment, no matter how much it hurts, no matter how much I dislike it. I gotta face it. Sometimes it takes a week, sometimes it takes a minute, sometimes it takes an hour, sometimes it takes a month, sometimes it may take a lifetime. But I'm gonna tell you, we ain't got a lifetime. We ain't got a lifetime. This is for the here, the now, and the ready. Can't wait for everybody else. Some people are waiting for everybody else to figure it out when it takes that self-responsibility, that self-determination, that self. The word self is necessary in this game. It feels good to be able to get that information out. Been holding that for a long time. And let's see what comes out of this, how this grows. You know, I'd like to create something called the rise of a species, and that species being mankind. And what we're going to do, how we're going to communicate, and how we're going to grow out of this, and how we're going to change this playing field, because that's what's going on. And if we can be tricked up here, we get tricked right here. So our emotions are redirecting our thought and then our actions. And so we're voting for people. You know, I'm going to talk about politicians and politics. Everybody's on this side or that side when they're both a contradiction to the species. Yes, we're talking about things that are not human working against us. And that's something that's coming up real soon. And people are going to recognize it. We ain't the only thing out here. You know, we ain't the only thing out here. And when that becomes evident, hopefully, I say it with hope, because right now we're all riding on hope. You know, we're all doing our part, we're all riding on hope that we got to turn this motherfucker around, because it's not okay. It's not okay what's happening to the children of this world. And I cannot die without knowing that I did my part. Yeah, leaving this information for my children so they got an idea of what they got to do and where they got to go and how they work in this field. You know, so if we're in a ditch, we got to recognize that we make the change. We make the change wherever we stand. And the change comes from our perception of how we're understanding things are working. And it takes a lot of internal work, but it's not impossible. It's not impossible. And those are the steps I want to talk about. And those are the steps I want to get out. But I can't do it talking to myself to this camera. I need to communicate with others. And so if anybody wants to sit and talk with me and do a video, let's do it. You know, but the problem is people don't want to see their contradictions. And I don't want to be calling people out. So I want to talk about my contradictions. You know, I want to talk about where I've been, what I've done wrong, and what I had to do to make that change. But I need another human being on the other side so that things can grow. You know, things can grow in the communication. I can't just talk on this. I'm not a solo act. You know, I've been trying to and doing it the best I can. This is as far as I can go. So if anybody out there wants to communicate with me, just go back and forth, and let's just see where this goes. I promise not to ridicule, you know. Hold me accountable. Hold me accountable. Call me out. It's not about to ridicule. It's about to see where we're at and how we got it fixed. Our contradictions within, because it all stems from right here and boom, projects out. Because we can't fix the outside until we fix this inside. And that's what Yeshua came to teach us. In another video, I'll talk about where I stand with Yeshua. I don't use the word Jesus. Yeshua's enemies call him Jesus. A lot of people don't know that. But